Hey guys, so I'm gonna do a video on how to be positive and just step by step on how to stop being negative if you do feel like you're being super negative. When you're feeling negative and you're trying to be positive, it's hard to get out of the habits. And it's kind of hard to force positivity when your mind is so used to being negative because your mind automatically goes back to being negative. So you kind of have to take this step by step. And so when you're feeling negative and you're thinking about negative things, you can label that thought as either I'm worrying, I'm replaying the past, I'm assuming the worst, I'm criticizing myself. So these are like 4 ways you can kind of mentally label what you're feeling and what you're thinking. And once you label it as I'm worrying, I'm replaying the past, I'm assuming the worst case scenario, I'm criticizing myself, then you kind of realize, oh, okay, I am thinking negatively and I need to start thinking more positive. You can feel the negative emotion, but you have to also let it pass instead of just kind of dwelling on the negative emotion, dwelling on the negative thing that happened in the past. You have to just move past it or feel the emotion and move past it. And that way, at least you felt the emotion and it's gone. But also just try to label how you're feeling and your thoughts. That will actually just kind of help separate you from what you're thinking, and you won't label yourself as what you're thinking. It'll be separate from you because you're labeling it as a thought that you're thinking about yourself negatively. So you just separate it from yourself. Let's say I'm thinking all these negative things, and then I can, instead of saying like, oh, everything is so bad, everything's horrible, which I say all the time, I can say something like, okay, my mind is thinking about horrible things and horrible situations, but nothing horrible is happening right now. So see, that kind of separates you from the present, from the past or future, if you're worrying about the future, and kind of grounds you in the present. Everything's fine right now. So once you realize that, you realize, oh, everything's fine right now. Why am I even thinking about this? And then you kind of even can try to focus on things in the present. Like, oh, right now, like, I have my Diet Coke. I'm just gonna drink Diet Coke. I love Diet Coke. Or something, like just something random that's in the present so that you don't keep thinking about the past. So that's just kind of like a step 1. Step 2, if you keep thinking negatively, you kind of feed off of it automatically, and then you keep thinking negative, and then it kind of starts to become a spiral. And then your brain gets so used to it that you kind of play it like a loop. So it turns into like a loop and it just keeps going on forever. If you ever notice yourself like replaying arguments or imagining worst case scenarios, or like even you just criticizing your own self, have to kind of like do something, like I said, to ground yourself in the present. So for example, you can literally do like stretches, clean something. You can run errands. You can say, oh, actually I have to like run errands right now. Maybe, oh, I should just text my mom, or I should text one of my close friends. How are they doing? Just kind of like check up on people. You can literally just go outside and sit in nature, which is my favorite one. And I love water, so if I'm like near a lake or an ocean, I'm really happy. I love water so much. But that's perfect for me. Some people like sitting in the park. Some people, if you have a dog or a cat or something, I have a pet cat, or if you have a dog, you can literally take it for a walk, like do something focused in the present, like ground yourself in the present. Or even just like working, like if you have to do something for work, I know like sometimes thinking about work after feeling negative is not like that great, but like you could be like, oh, like I have something to do for work, let me just do that, let me do something for work. And like I said, these are all just things that will ground you. Every time you notice you're thinking something negative, just like, I'm thinking of something negative, I need to do something else. Like you have to label that thought instead of saying, oh, I'm so like, I feel so horrible, what happened to me, that was so horrible, what may happen in the future might be horrible. And just like kind of spending all your energy and time thinking about that, you're just gonna make yourself go crazy. So just try to ground yourself in the present and think about something positive that happened today or that day. Like for example, yesterday I was being negative and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened, and I have to like pay all these bills, I have to do all these things that I didn't even do. Being negative towards it, just be like, just take it day by day, take it step by step. It's just takes time, so it's not going to be like a 1-day process. You really just kind of have to keep stopping yourself. So instead of me thinking like, oh, everything is horrible, everyone's horrible, because I always do that, I always say like, everything's horrible, everyone's horrible, I say that all the time. So instead of saying that, I can say like, oh, like people can be hurtful, people can be supportive too. Like some people are rude and hurtful and some people are supportive and nice. So obviously it's better to stick to whoever's supportive and nice. And that's like a balanced version because you're realizing the negative and the positive and what happened. If you're like, oh, some people are so rude, but some people are so supportive. So that kind of is a balance. So you can see like the negative and positive aspect of what happened. So that always helps me because like you kind of see the balance of what happened and you're like, okay, well, obviously I want to stick with whoever's positive or like supportive. Or like if you just feel like so like pessimistic and you're like, oh, I never feel better, like I'm just saying these things but I still don't feel better, then you can just like kind of realize like, oh, feelings can change. Feelings can change even though it feels like in the moment the feeling is permanent, but feelings can change and moods always change and seasons always go by. You can kind of think of it like that. So it's not like a permanent emotion, like things will always pass. It just takes time. You kind of have to like start small and work your way up. So that always helps me kind of like balancing how you feel, and like stopping that spiral. If you feel like you're spiraling, like I said, try to get up and do something, anything in the present. Also, you can also name like something you're grateful for. So for example, like I have a car, you know, gets me from point A to point B, or you can kind of like manifest too, but I'll talk about that in another video. So also your environment matters too. So if you're like in a toxic environment, that's kind of hard to be positive when you're in a toxic environment. If you're stressed from work and you just feel like overwhelmed and stressed, that can also just make you feel negative and kind of contribute to your toxic environment. Or if you just feel in general in a bad mood and you feel like, oh, it's literally just me, I'm in a bad mood, everything else is fine, that can contribute to it. So you have to kind of do stress relieving things and you have to protect your physical environment and mental environment as well. What a lot of people do is like play calming music. So for me, like when I used to study in school, I used to play jazz music. I love going to cafes. I love coffee. I love tea. I go to cafes and there's always jazz music. So when I listen to jazz music, that reminds me of a cafe. So that would like calm my nervous system down. And I didn't even realize that it did that. But then when I realized, I started using that as like a study mechanism when I was in school. Calming music, there's so many different types. There's like frequencies, there's jazz, there's like instrumental music. I stuck to jazz just because it helps me a lot and it kind of reminds me of that cafe. And like whenever you're in a cafe or a library, you know, people are studying, doing work, so it kind of reminds me of being productive. So for me, that worked best. Try different instrumentals, different music, and kind of see what you like the best. And there's a lot of TikToks now. There's a lot of TikToks, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels, social media apps that you can use, and you can always watch funny content, like uplifting content, like something just funny, something to make you laugh. Like I said, nature, I love nature. I love water. So if there's water anywhere, I will literally just go there. If there's a lake nearby, there's a beach like 2 hours away, I will go there and just sit by the water because that's really relaxing. That works for me. I just love water, even just like listening to water. And sometimes when I go to sleep, I listen to ocean waves or thunderstorms or just anything related to water. I don't know why, it just works for me. So in general, nature can just kind of calm your mind because it's just so relaxing. Always stick with whoever's supportive. It can be anyone. It can be your friend, family member, just whoever is supportive of you and whoever you trust. It's always good to build hobbies. Now, in the past, I didn't really have hobbies because I was in school and studying, and I felt like it was like mentally draining because it was just like studying exams. I didn't really have time to build hobbies, but now that that's done, I can kind of focus on building hobbies like exercising, like walking, doing anything. Like my one friend loves knitting. My one other friend loves music, loves making music, and I like always loved like makeup, and it's just like fun for me. It's relaxing for me. Whenever I do makeup, I feel relaxed because it feels therapeutic to me. Like a lot of girls, I feel like kind of understand that one. Other hobbies like painting. I used to know how to paint. I used to paint all the time. Sketching, anything. Like literally even just trying something new. Exercise, movement helps too, like walking, even just doing chores, like anything, just moving in general, stretches, doing exercises, anything involving stretches. I love stretches because that helps so much. And also like if you're like sitting, like sometimes I feel like I'm sitting a lot, it kind of makes your muscles and body feels like tense. So even just like stretching after cardio or something or before helps a lot. You kind of have to make it a routine. You have to make it a habit slowly, just like take time. And once it turns into a habit, you will like, it'll just become second nature. So that takes time. But like once that happens, you'll be like more grounded in the present. Like I said, remember, if you're in the present more, you'll be you won't be in your head as much. You won't think about the past, the future, and random worst case scenarios. Like sometimes I think worst case scenarios all the time, and it's always dramatic, and then I make my own self upset. Like sometimes it's okay because it's just like your mind trying to protect itself, which makes sense if you think about it. Like that's why the mind does it. But if it happens all the time, 24/7, it's really just gonna take a toll. So gratitude. Okay, gratitude is really important. I need to practice gratitude, I have to be honest. And like a lot of people in general, like I feel like gratitude kind of gets skipped over a lot, but gratitude is so important because we get so used to our everyday lives and everything we do every single day. We're so used to it. We don't think about, you know, being grateful for what we have. Okay, name one thing that you're grateful for that you have. For example, like I can say, oh, like I love my car that I got. It gets me from point A to point B, and I love how it looks. Like this is how I wanted my car to look. Just be like grateful about the situation. Just kind of think about, oh, like this car gets me to point A to point B, and this is the car I wanted for the longest time. Like I'm so happy I have it. And just kind of be grateful for literally anything. Like for me, for example, like, oh, I'm able to afford like all this makeup products. I love different makeup products. I love eyeshadow palettes. Like for me, I can be like, I love this eyeshadow palette. Like it was expensive, but I have it. I'm happy that I got this. Like I should be grateful for it. I have so many clothes, but I'm lucky that I have so many clothes and I have to be grateful that I have so many clothes and I have access to getting so many clothes. So then you're kind of like grateful in that aspect, and just like thinking like that will make you think, okay, like, why am I complaining? I should be more positive. Why am I complaining? I should be more positive and, you know, say things more positively. See. And I always just kind of keep my windows open. Not my windows, my blinds. I always try to keep my blinds open just so I can get sunlight in the morning. So I will open these up. And then that way, like I'll get sunlight, and then I'll wake up at like a normal decent time. Like sometimes I feel like I don't wake up at a normal decent time. It depends, but I'm like the highest in my apartment. Like I'm literally at the complete top, so no one can technically see me. But like the blinds is just so I can be opening the blinds is just so I can wake up. So, and then the sunlight, obviously everyone knows like effects of sunlight. You can take deep breaths for 1 minute straight. So I like this one because it kind of, like I said, it grounds you. So don't look at your phone. Don't even read anything. Take deep breaths for 1 minute. It's really, really relaxing. And a lot of people feel like it grounds them. For 1 minute, it's like if you start a timer and hold and then exhale. So I'll be like, oh, it just takes time. Take it day by day. If it happens, it happens. Instead of being like harsh to yourself, be more patient. Instead of insulting yourself, kind of guide yourself. And instead of being like negative, pessimistic, or be encouraging to yourself and positive, you can always set a goal. Like you can be like, by this week, I'm gonna do this. Like for example, for me, I was like, I'm just gonna make like a TikTok video, like a funny one. I'll do this for Friday. Thursday, I have to do this. Wednesday, I have to do this. And then, you know, kind of like reconnect with old friends, family, anyone, and just kind of, you know, set goals. If you set goals, then you have something to do. If you just want to relax, then set goals to relax with yourself. Be like, okay, maybe I should watch this show. I should watch like sometimes like a YouTube video that's like talks about positivity. Like I do that sometimes before I go to bed, and I'm like, okay, like I feel a little bit better. So that helps too. And just like learning new things, like even like learning a new language is fun. So just, I used to have Duolingo and I should probably re-download it, but yeah. So even like learning a new language, because it makes you think differently and it makes your brain, it kind of rewires your brain to do something different. So instead of like doing kind of like the same thing every day, you're like, okay, I'm trying something different, and it's fun. Like, and then you'll be kind of like excited to do it too. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, I don't want to, but other days you'll be like, okay, it's kind of fun. Like, let me try this. So it depends. But it works if you just kind of build a habit and just keep trying. And like, It's not gonna happen overnight. This takes time, but like I said, the first step is recognizing like what I'm thinking is so negative. I need to stop thinking about this, and then just kind of moving on from feeling negative. Cause yeah, in the beginning you're gonna feel so negative, because that's how I was. But once you recognize it, you're gonna be like, and I need to be more positive. So that's just kind of how it works, but you have to recognize it, and after you recognize it, then you label it, and after you label it, you have to ground yourself, be present, do something physical, think about something positive, go out in nature, like I said, hang out with your pet, which I love, hang out with a family member, hang out with friends, anyone trustworthy, anyone that you feel comfortable, happy with, just things like that, just anything. It'll take probably a couple of weeks to start building the habit, and then after you build a habit, it'll take probably a couple months to officially build a habit. So it just takes time, and it's kind of like a back and forth, but it takes time, and like then you'll be like shifting your energy from like being, you know, like pessimistic to being positive. So it's worth it. It's worth it. Give it a try and see what works for you. Let me know if there's anything I missed, and if there's something different that works for you that doesn't work for me. So this is just kind of like helpful tips, and I wanted to make this because I was really thinking about the most negative things possible, and I felt like I was spiraling. Like an advice video based off of my experience, but let me know. I used to journal all the time, but yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and let me know if there's anything specific that works for you. So yeah, bye.